told you. Sunday at 1 o'clock. And you know what you told me? You were at the zoo. The zoo? On a Sunday afternoon? Who's at the zoo on a Sunday? Yes, a lot of people are leaving. A lot of people are fleeing. The market is suffering really big time in Manhattan. But I think of it back to the times prior to Giuliani coming on board, where people were afraid to even go into the city. It was such a mess there. So I believe that New York will rebound, because that's what always happens, but I think it's going to take a long time. I think you're going to need somebody that's going to come into office that's going to be very, very tough, okay, on crime, and eventually things will bounce back, but it's going to take a long time.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, how many years do you think, maybe?
Thank you. To clean up the disaster and, to recoup the losses, 5 to 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So we haven't seen the worst as far as price drops.
No, I don't think
Prices
so.
will continue to drop.
I think so. I really do. Because like I said, I read somewhere that 70% of the sales in the country in the last 4 months have been people leaving New York. Yeah. So I don't know that it's going to come back quick. Nothing ever happens quick in real estate anyway. Yeah.
So if they're selling, who's buying?
Yeah, there's people that are moving, coming into the area. A lot of people in the city that have money are heading out to the island, real far east. Your first-time buyers are coming into this area. So there are buyers for sure, but like I said, we're talking more so the city.
Yeah, I feel like with the city, that it's that foreign money that's really missing, right? Like, I mean, because we had like at one point it was Chinese investors everywhere. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, kind of, yeah. I mean, even pre-COVID, I want to say like China kind of like put a stop to the whole investing and like
because
visas and whatever.
They put a clamp on it because there was so much money coming out of their own country. So they simmered that down, like you said. And then when COVID happened, it really dried up that market. It really did.
Yeah, 7 years, man.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, there's an expression: 7 to 8 years to get up, 7 to 8 years to get down. All right.
I'll just say Jessica Elmazi of Compass Real Estate, right?
Mm-hmm. That's fine. What are we going to be chatting about today?
So here's the format of the show. So I welcome you. I do the intro. I welcome you. And then I ask you to give a little background of who you are. You can talk about how you worked with Mom and all that, and now you're at Compass Real Estate. There's no rule here that says you can't talk about where you're from.
Hey, we just wrapped up with Joe of Sonona Speaks. He interviewed me as one of his part of his Listing Pro series, so we'll include a link in the bio here. One of these places. I don't know.
The one to add the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, go for it.
It depends. There are parts of Manhattan that are busy. Depends on your price range and neighborhood. What's really struggling in Manhattan is commercial. And the reason being is because of office space. As long as workers are working and operating remotely, there's not going to be people filling up offices, which means you're not going to have patronage to restaurants, to bars. So as long as the economy in Manhattan is stifled, you're not going to see real estate and an active recovery that you would in some other areas.
Right,
Keep
like-
in mind, like the luxury market was struggling from even before COVID.
Okay.
You know, if you looked at, I mean, like the skyscrapers and, you know, the multi-million-dollar apartments and the really high, you know, like the luxury residential rentals, those were struggling for a while. Like a lot of those buildings were doing concessions. They were giving away 1-2 months of rent for free. They were throwing in, I read in the New York Times, there was one building in Manhattan throwing in free yoga classes, you know, like anything to try to incentivize people to rent at that price level. So I think there's been a movement away from the high-end stuff for a little while, and I think COVID just kind of accelerated it. The suburbs, we're obviously seeing a lot more activity right now. The problem is there's not enough inventory, and that's what's keeping the prices so high, is that you have this really unique combination of very low interest rates and limited inventory. So you have people that are incentivized to buy and not enough houses to fill them in, so it's driving all the prices up. So it is a great time to buy interest rate wise, but in terms of what you're going to pay, like if you're looking to go to certain parts of Long Island, Connecticut, Westchester County, New Jersey, you're going to be prepared to go above asking price for some of these houses. Astoria is still busy. You know, I think that it feels a little more like a neighborhood in Astoria as opposed to being in Manhattan. So I think you're seeing people come from Manhattan to neighborhoods like Astoria, certain neighborhoods in Brooklyn. You can get a little more bang for your buck in Astoria versus Manhattan. Maybe you'll get an apartment with a patio. Maybe you'll get some kind of outdoor space, and that's important for people. Another consideration too is having office space in your apartment, right? Because so many people now are working remotely that they need a setup for a desk. So even if it's not another bedroom, having an alcove, having just something.
It's okay. Yeah, you go for it. So Astoria, more space.
Astoria, yeah, more space. Astoria's been blowing up. I mean, there's Target coming in. We already have TJ Maxx. Like any available space, you know, apartment buildings are going up, condos, new construction. So I'm not too worried about Astoria. Even when the housing market completely crashed in 2008, 2009, Astoria was one of those neighborhoods that retained its value because you know, you can't beat the location, proximity to the city, all of the nightlife, restaurants, the character of the neighborhood. You know, as an Astoria native, I can attest to all that.
In this episode of American Speaking Albanian, we're gonna have our agent Ermir teach Anne. You wanna look at the camera, Mom?
Oh,
Pay attention, people. So some Albanian words, okay? Our first Albanian word for the day or sentence will be welcome to the house.
Mirë se vini në shtëpi.
mirë se vini
Në shtëpi.
në shtëpi. Nuk e di.
No, that was not part of it.
That was not part of it. Mirë servini
Në shtëpi.
në shtëpi. Okay. These are the bedrooms.
Këto janë dhomat.
To janë domat.
Këto janë dhomat.
To janë dhonat.
Not even close.
Pretty close.
Go ahead.
You should go say it. Këto janë dhomat.
Kto jam dhomat. How about the house has gas fuel?
Shtëpia ka djegje gazi.
Wait, say that again.
Shtëpia ka djegje gazi. Shtëpia
Shtëpia
ka
ka
djegje
djegja
gazi.
gazi.
Okay, say it again.
Shtëpia
Shtëpia ga.
ka
Oh, shtëpia ka
djegje
gazi.
gazi.
Gazi. Shtëpia ka degje gazi.
Very good.
All right. We did coffee chat with Joe Sonona, Sonona Speaks, on his Listing Pro series, and we did some deal management. I have to go because I have to go. I actually have to go because I have a listing. I will see you later. Have fun. Bye.
Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next week for more real estate fun. And subscribe, please. There's a lot of action here. What else do I have to say?
Hit the lens.
Oh, like smack it?